Hey guys, Bird Yugioh here, coming at you with the third deck in our fun decks for Master Rule 5. This is Metalfoes. I did going with like a pure version right here, or pretty close to pure. There's one small little engine in here, but I always think it's fun to put it in here. You'll see what I'm talking about. But if you guys haven't already, go and subscribe. I post on a regular basis, so you're not getting, just like one video a week. I'm doing, 3 to 4 videos a week. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss one of those. And we'll get right into this one. Starting off with Silvered. It's a level 3. It's a low scale. And all of the Metalfoes have the same effect. They're all normal monsters. And so their pendulum effect is once per turn you can target one other face-up card you control, destroy it, and if you do, you set one Metalfoes spell trap directly from your deck. So they can search out their fusions, because this is more like a fusion-based deck. Search out their fusions or their traps very easily. And then our other low-scale Metalfoes, oh sorry, if you guys couldn't see that, that is Metalfoes Silvered. And you have to play 3 Gold Driver. He's your level 4, so he's getting another normal summon option. And there's some other cards that can get him out too, like Painful Decision and stuff like that. So really, really good card. Again, same effect, you destroy a card, and then you can set one Metalfoes spell and trap. Play 3 Stealin'. He's a level 2. Same effect again, but he's a high scale. And then our last normal Metalfoes is going to be Volflame. He's another high scale. He is level 7 is the only problem, so you're not going to be able to easily normal summon him. But he does have the highest attack with 2400. Really nice to just have a body on board. And then the last of the Metalfoes monsters we played 2 of the Bismugear, rare Metalfoes. So this card, same effect in the pendulum scale, but then it also has a monster effect. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add one Metalfoes monster from your deck to your hand, and then during the end phase of this turn, you add that card from your deck to your hand during the end phase of this turn. So it's a nice searcher for the end phase. It's a way of getting off, basically, if you have him normal summoned in any of these Metalfoes, you can target him, destroy him, get a search during the end phase, plus get your spell and trap search. So it's kind of cool to have. And again, just another normal summon option. And then a good little complement to all these is Rescue Hamster. Both of his effects do come up. In the pendulum scale, you can banish this card from your pendulum zone and add 2 face-up pendulum cards with the same name from your extra deck to your hand. But then also, if it's normal summoned, and you have a face-up level 5 or lower, so pretty much any of these guys, you can tribute this card, and then you'll special summon 2 monsters from your deck with the same name as that card in the extra deck. So that can be really awesome. And then the other engine that I was talking about is the Cleafort engine. We played 2 Scout. It's another normal monster, but you're mainly using this, or you're only using this, activating the scale to then search out your monolith. And basically, so what that's doing for you is getting you just an easy way, as long as you have, the ability to set up your pendulum scales, to go into Cyber Dragon Infinity, because both these are level 5 machine. So you would activate Scout and Scale, activate his effect to add Monolith, and then use one of your Metalfoes to destroy this, to then search your Metalfoes spell and trap, and then you can pendulum summon both of these guys to then go into an easy Cyber Dragon Infinity. Really nice, and obviously that's just an amazing negate to just easily get like that. And then we also play 3 Rescue Rabbit. Since we're playing obviously all these normal monsters, this should be a no-brainer. This is by far your best normal summon. But you just banish this face-up card and special summon 2 level 4 or lower normal monsters with the same name from your deck, and you destroy them during the end phase, but you're always going to be using them, so that doesn't really matter. So basically any of these first 9, because they're level 4 or lower, you can special summon 2 of them off of Rescue Rabbit. So amazing, amazing card. And then lastly, just play a couple of hand traps. I went with Ash Blossom here, but you can do, as usual, you know, Effect Veiler, DD Crow, heck, even Skullmeister is one to kind of look into if you're playing against a deck that likes to activate effects in the grave, which a lot of decks do. So we're just doing 2 Ash Blossom in this version. So that is the monsters. The spells. By far the best Metalfoes spell, Metalfoes Fusion. It's obviously your way of fusion summoning. And you just fusion summon using monsters from your hand or field. But then also, if this is in your graveyard, you just shuffle this into the deck and draw a card. So it's amazing draw power, obviously. And it's searchable, so you only need to play 1. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could play 2, but you know, 1 is fine. And then 1 of the full Metalfoes Fusion. This one only has 1 effect. You just fusion summon from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. But it's a quick play. So this is a nice one to use during the battle phase to just get some more damage on board. And then we also, sorry, I don't know if I showed those. That's full Metalfoes Fusion, and that is Metalfoes Fusion, 1 of each of those. And then a great complement to this deck is Painful Decision. Playing 2 of those, you just send 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and then you add 1 card with the same name. So it's a very, very nice searcher. And then the main reason I feel for playing this deck and that it can still compete very easily is Super Polymerization, because there's specifically 2 cards in the extra deck that are Metalfoes cards that this card is just crazy with, and I'll show you those. But 3 Super Poly, that's absolutely amazing. Definitely play those. And then since you're doing a lot of searching, I chose to play Called by the Grave. You definitely don't have to if you don't want to, but I like Called by the Grave in this deck. Like I said, you do a lot of searching. So, and then 2 Foolish Burial Goods, just because that Metalfoes Fusion, getting that to grave and then drawing 1 is just so good. Because you're still able to search it because you're shuffling that back to the deck. So yeah, 2 Foolish Burial Goods is awesome in this deck. And then 1 Emergency Teleport, because you do have, it's just you special summon 1 level 3 or lower psychic type. So you have basically 6 targets. You got your steel in, and then your 3 silvered. Actually, you got more than that. You have your 2 Bismugear too. So you got 8 targets for it. So again, that should be a no-brainer card just to get a free extender on board, another monster. And then Upstart Goblin, you know, we got a 40 card deck, so why not get to our combo pieces, get to our Super Poly as quickly as we can. And then we play a Metalfoes counter. It's a nice one because if a card you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect, which should happen almost every turn just because of the Metalfoes cards, you just special summon 1 Metalfoes monster from your deck. And then during either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this and add 1 face-up Metalfoes from your extra deck to your hand. So really nice card, just all around good. And then just 1 combination. Again, you really only need to play 1 of each of the Metalfoes card spell traps because they're searchable so easily with obviously any 12 of the Metalfoes, or sorry. 9, 3, 6, no, sorry, 12, 13, 14 cards that'll search out these 4 cards. So you're always going to see these when you want to see them. But this one combination, if fusion monster is fusion summoned, which you should do every turn, you can target 1 Metalfoes in your graveyard with a lower level, which is pretty common as well. You special summon it, and if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Metalfoes monster from your deck to your hand, and it's a continuous. And then the last card we play, Skill Drain. As you saw, we play a lot of normal monsters, so occasionally, if you want to just have a board full of normal monsters, you have skill drain, just activate that. Your opponent's probably not going to be doing anything, and then you're just going to be attacking with all those normal monsters. Just like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is actually a really good card in this deck. So that is it for the main deck. Like I said, 40. We want to be consistent. We want to see that super poly as quickly as we can. And then for the extra deck, the only Metalfoes fusion we play 2 of is Mithrilium. He is very, very good. It just requires 1 Metalfoes monster and 1 Pendulum monster. And you can target 2 Metalfoes cards in your graveyard and 1 card on the field. And you shuffle the targets from your graveyard into the deck and then return that target to the hand. So really, really good disruption. Just getting rid of a monster. And then if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Metalfoes from your graveyard or face up from your extra deck. It's just an all-around really good card, consistent card for this deck. And then just 1 Alcahest. He is actually a really good disruption because during your opponent's turn, you can target 1 effect monster on the field, equip that target to this card. So it does target, but it doesn't destroy or anything. It just equips it to this card. And then this card gains defense equal to the combined original attack of the monster equipped to it. So you'll summon this in defense, and whatever the attack of that monster is, this will gain it in defense. So really nice. And then you can use monsters you control equipped to this card as material for the fusion summon of a Metalfoes fusion. So that's another way, if you don't have Super Poly, of basically using your opponent's monsters to fusion summon. And then we play 1 Orichalc. Just requires 2 Metalfoes monsters, and then if a Metalfoes monster you control attacks a defense position monster, you inflict double piercing battle damage to your opponent. And then if this is sent from the field to the graveyard, you just target 1 card in the field and destroy it. So that one is really nice to have as well. And then here's kind of your Super Poly targets and your way of using Alcahest to your full advantage. One of them is Adamante. He's, again, no effects to him. But to fuse into him, you just need 1 Metalfoes monster and 1 monster with 2,500 or less attack. So that's a lot of monsters that could potentially go into this. Like I said, off of Super Poly or Alcahest. Really, really easy. And another one that could potentially just be detrimental is Crimsonite, because he needs 1 Metalfoes monster and 2 monsters with 3,000 or less attack. So again, that's stealing almost 90% of the time, stealing 2 of your opponent's monsters, getting rid of them, and fusing into a 3,000 attack beater, basically. So really, really nice. And then this is kind of just like a Super Poly deck. So we have a lot of targets for Super Poly. Dragostapelia for a fusion and a dark monster. That's all you need for that one. Starving Venom, just 2 dark monsters. Mud Dragon, just 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Chimera, he just requires 2 Cyburst monsters. And then we have 2 targets for Shaddoll. You got a Construct and a Winda. Just in case they have some crazy board where they have a Shaddoll Winda plus another dark monster, you can go into this guy, or a Shaddoll monster and a light monster. That's kind of why I did 2 targets for that, because those could be very problematic boards. And then just 1 Violent Chimera. Salamandrates are running around still. And then the final 2 cards, Cyber Dragon Nova, which you make with your Cleafort cards, Scout and Monolith, very easily. And then you're obviously going to be going into Infinity, slapping that on top as quickly as you can, just for negate anything, basically. So that is the deck, guys. Obviously it's fusion based, so it'll have no problem Master Rule 5, just making a board of a few fusion monsters without having to touch the links at all. So that's the deck, guys. Again, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you on the next one.